Yeah. Hey, welcome. Pretty I feel pretty okay. The humidity's gone in New York, you'll be happy to know. Some people will say, "Well, Nick, now you probably are switching back from cold brew to hot brew coffee." The answer is go to hell, because I don't drink cold coffee ever. I drink hot coffee only because it doesn't affect me. It's people act like I'm drinking fire. We're like, dude, it's like 85. How can you have a hot coffee? I'm like, I'm not pouring it on my head. I'm not getting into a tub full of it. I'm just enjoying a hot beverage on a hot day, usually in the air conditioned coffee shop I'm getting it in, or air conditioned apartment I'm making it in. So everyone can just dial it down a little bit. Speaking of coffee, here we are. This week's coffee is from, I'm going to try and pronounce Peyoto. I imagine the X is silent. It's probably not Payexato. They are from Chandler, Arizona. Here's what's interesting about this place is they say it's our family tradition for over 150 years. So, and then on the back, we own it every step of the way. I don't know that I've experienced a coffee roaster that owns it every step of the way. It's usually like a few nerdy coffee white dudes who go down to an impoverished region of the world and then go, "Hey, we're going to buy your coffee." And then you have probably no choice but to sell it to us. And they go, "Hey, we need a translator because I don't know what you're saying to me." And that's how we have most of our coffee, I think. That's a historic, I read that in a history book. I'm just repeating. That's a quote. I think these guys are different, dude. Should we look it up? Should we look it up? Beyond fair trade and direct trade, we are a family trade. Jose, it's their last name, Peyoto. I hope I'm saying that, Jose. I'm sorry if I'm not, if you're even alive still. Locations, more than one. That's a good sign. Historic downtown Chandler, Arizona. And then, so they're in Gilbert. So they have two in Arizona. Arizona, I don't know, has a lot of great coffee places. So this is a welcome addition. And the next time I go do some gigs there, Peyoto Family Coffees. They're all from Brazil. They're all Brazilians. They got some single origins. They have some Colombians. Extended family coffees. They got some cousins doing coffee, but it's still in the family. This is a natural process, single origin. And when I hear natural process, dude, I am on board. And I'll tell you this, hazelnut, honey, berries. I'm getting some hazelnut. Hold on. It even smells a little nutty. It has like that earthy, nutty smell to it, which is so nice in a coffee, So the berry thing is great. Like before the beans were roasted. Oh, dude, that smells so good. And I just had finished a cup of coffee. Yeah, I'm an addict. Deal with it. Light on the berry, but that's okay. There's like maybe in the aftertaste a little honey. It's like a light to medium, bordering a medium roast profile, but I like it. This is different than the few coffees I've done before. Not as light, but it's complex enough to where I would get it again. I think it's an interesting coffee. I have to say it's more complex than I expected, and I like it. I've never heard of this roaster either. This is cool. See, this is what's good about this service, Drink Trade, who I won't get into anymore until they start sponsoring these, but I like the service. I'm glad we use it. And good stuff is coming through, man. Another new coffee. This is great. Peyoto Coffee Roasters. On the side, they had an interesting closing the loop in coffee. 205 degrees, 1 gram of coffee for every 16 grams of water. I don't know if I've seen it put that way before, but I tried that and I did about maybe 340, 350. I went a little over, but it worked. It was nice. And look, the bag, simple as fuck, dude. They're not wasting their time. They are not show. Oh, I am so dumb. This is how dumb I am. I could have just read the top of the logo where it tells you how to pronounce it. It says Peixoto. I wasn't that close. We're not even gonna pretend. There. Peixoto. I'm sorry, guys. I should have. It's disrespectful that I didn't investigate further. I have one of those last names. People get wrong all the time, and it used to bother me more, but it's still, I always tell myself, I'm like, it's so easy to figure it out. And then here I am not figuring it out. And I was even looking at the bag while I was roasting it. I was like looking up the website and all that stuff, like doing the background. And I couldn't even read right above the name. Peixoto Coffee. That's on the list of we're coming back around. We're getting that again. I saw this last night and I've already had a couple friends send this to me and I literally cannot believe they are doing another Fyre Fest. Not even the same guy. What's his name? Dumb idiot guy. His name is, oh, Jesus, I just had it. Something McFarlane. Who cares what his name is? This guy's a moron. So look, he tried to do the Fyre Fest a couple of years ago, if you remember, and it was a disaster. And they had no food and musicians dropped out. And it was just like the worst run, organized, executed festival in the history of festivals. This dude went to jail for fraud because of this. Now he is launching another Fyre Fest, and he has the gall, the audacity, the narcissistic outlook to be like, I'm doing it again, and I'm going to do it in the Caribbean, and I'm going to charge $499 a ticket, and I'm not even going to announce the lineup. He's crazy. This is what a crazy person does. And look, if you buy tickets, if you are one of the people who is buying tickets to the Fyre Festival, knowing what we all know about it, that's not announced, nothing's announced. You're basically giving $500 to a criminal who admittedly said he planned the new Fyre Fest while in solitary confinement. And people are just like, that sounds good to me. Here's $500 for that. You don't deserve anything if that's what's coming. If nothing is coming again, that's what you deserve. And if you pay and then you actually make it to the festival and the island is literally on fire, you deserve to be burned alive in that fire. Nobody would feel sorry for you. Hey man, what happened to John? He went to Fyre Fest. Oh my God, they actually did that again? Yeah, he went. What happened? Well, for some reason, the entire island was on fire and he burned alive. Same fire guy that said he came up with a new idea while in solitary confinement, where no new ideas are good. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, John was dumb. You know, the last person to come up with a bunch of ideas while basically in solitary, self-imposed, Ted Kaczynski. Guys, he's famous for that. You deserve to get ripped off. I want to know how many people were just like, oh, dude, I'm so glad he's out of prison. I'm so glad he's doing it again. Here's $500. Is there a tip screen? Can we add more? Can I give him $650? There's certain people who line right up. Like there's people that when you talk to, you know, like they are one day going to join a cult. You know, those people, they're just like followers and easily manipulated. And then there are people that look up to scum fuck assholes like this guy, you know, that are attracted to and impressed by that like you could just see the slime oozing off of their bodies. They just go like, there's my hero, there he goes. I'd love to lick some of the slime off that. Maybe it'll get my creative juices flowing. There's people that love that kind of guy, you know, and maybe those are the ones that are taken by those confidence men or whatever you call them. But here's a quote from it. I wrote out this 50-page plan of how it would take this overall interest in demand and fire, and how it would take my ability to bring people from around the world together to make the impossible happen, how I would find the best partners in the world to allow me to be while executing Fyre's vision to the highest level. That he just said nothing there. That's one of those nothing speak paragraphs where it sounds like he's saying a bunch of stuff. And he basically didn't specify anything. He's saying, how would he take this overall interest and demand? There is none. He made that up. And his ability to bring people from around the world together and make the impossible happen. He tried that and it didn't work. So again, that's two nothings. And how I would find the best partners in the world to allow me to be me, which is a criminal. So you want to find partners who would help you be a criminal from what we know about you, while executing Fyre's vision to the highest level. And he never says what Fyre's vision is, by the way. So he has told us in that paragraph a grand total of 0 things. That paragraph might as well have just been like blah beep beep pop blah 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 beep beep boop pop pop beep 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 bing boom pop pop solitary confinement sucks pop beep pop pop. The first 100 tickets are on sale now and cost $4.99, but prices are due to increase the more tickets sell. Oh boy. I can't wait to see how high they get. Once they sell 101 tickets, then who knows, sky high. And the resale market, oh, it's probably going to be crazy. Yeah. Tickets are going to go for what, 4 or 5 billion? Given how high the demand is. Fyre Fest 2 date, the website says, a disclaimer, Fyre Fest 2 date is subject to change. Yeah. From when it's scheduled to never. That's my guess. Honestly, guys, his previous announced plans were to make a Broadway musical about the festival. We live in the type of culture where you are rewarded for not just failing, but doing so illegally, taking advantage of people. How many documentaries have there been on Netflix in the last 6 months that, like, about that Anna Delvey, the con person? And people like her, we watch those people like entertainment, and we're just like, let's see if this guy's any good. You know, like, we're, in a way, you're like rooting for them to be good at what they did. So you're entertained by this documentary where they just plowed through innocent people and just stole their money, ruined their lives. And this guy is jumping on that. He wants to make a musical about ripping everyone off and then going to jail for it. You wonder how certain people got elected president in 2016. Here's how I'm going to pay it back. I spend half my time filming TV shows. The other half I focus on what I'm really good at. You're not good at anything. You're good at being in jail and lying to people. I'm best at coming up with wild, creative, getting talent together and delivering the moment. He hasn't done that. But again, you double down now. You never admit you're wrong. You double down on the thing that you initially said. And even if there's evidence in 4K that you lied and fucked up, you just keep saying the same thing. And there are enough people that will just hand you $500. Social media has brought us together in that way, in good ways, and in where are the dumbest people imaginable and how can I get $500 from them? They're out there, man. People are out there to be manipulated. The best. So, dude, there's all this UFO stuff happening now. Oh, I'm sorry. They don't call them UFOs anymore. There was some dude that he was like a legit source that worked somewhere in the U.S. government who claims that there are crafts with non-human or not of this earth biological organisms. It was like super vague. That made it sound like aliens. So I read up on it. Who knows if he's that credible of a source, but it's still interesting that more and more of this is being talked about. But people are annoyed that they're changing the names of these things from UFOs to UAPs, which has already stood for 2 different things: unidentified aerial phenomena, and now it's unidentified anomalous phenomena. So yeah, people are kind of bothered by it. But I don't think UFO was the first name, was it? No. People just probably called them flying saucers for a long time. And then when the government got involved, they gave them an abbreviation. So this isn't new. I mean, why, and they're doing it to broaden out what could encompass all this, because they're not directly looking for aliens. They're just looking to identify aerial phenomena, or now anomalous, because what if it's not, only in the air? It's not weird really that they changed it from UFO to UAPs. They just want to broaden out what it means. They actually might change it again from UAP to UWTAT, which stands for, was that a thing? But yeah, call them what you want, man. I just want proof. I just want, and look, I think if there was we would have it by now. But I mean, imagine just like 8K quality, uninterrupted, unedited footage of just like a flying saucer, just a UFO, and whatever, however they actually look, just right in front of a camera, and then just the window opens, and then it's just an alien just going like, "Fuck you," you know. That would be perfect. Or just they just moon humanity, just put their big alien asses on their window. That would be the best. It's funny that people think that they're gonna look, you know, a certain way. Every guess on what they look like is based in the same realm, you know, of what we already assume they probably will look like: little green men, tall, skinny gray men, or whatever. They could look like absolutely anything. We have no basis for it. None. I think like if they are so advanced, I feel like they could be around and we are too primitive to even understand what they're looking at or what we're looking at. Like when a dog sees a mirror, they don't like know what it is. They don't know what a mirror is. And every once in a while they'll catch their reflection and identify it as something, right? But not all the time. So to us, it sounds crazy that you could look at a mirror and then look at it later and then not register it at all. Like they don't get what a reflection is. They just think something is there. Maybe it looks like another dog, or maybe they can't compute. They can't make enough connections to understand that that's another animal, or that's my own self reflected back to me, because they're dogs. We could be doing a version of that with alien. Like what if they're in the sky right now taking some shape or form and we just don't know? That has nothing to do with these like vessels or whatever people are seeing. It just could be like a weird shimmery thing that we don't pay any attention to. What if they look like clouds? Because they can. They could just be energy at this point. They could be anything. I just feel like if they can get here, they're so advanced that we don't stand a chance probably to even wrap our heads around it, unless they explained it to us like we're fifth graders. That would be the conversation we'd have to have. I would love for it to be true. I think it would be great. Just don't think that the road it's heading down now adds up enough. Unless this guy that was like, we have a vessel with biological, non-human biological blah, blah, blah. Unless they show us that, you know, who knows? And like, how would they keep it under wraps, you know, with every government in the world, or just America? That's also the most American thing ever, that it's like, yeah, the aliens have been coming down and they only come to us and they're only talking to us, and they're just like this with the US government because they looked at all the other governments, dude, and America rules. Even from 20 million light years away, they know what's up. They've seen our movies blasted out into space. They've seen our shit, dude. They know we're in charge. They knew when they came here. They're like, dude, we're going to the States, man. But dude, I hope they're real. And I hope when they come, they land on top of Fyre Fest and just incinerate everyone there. That would be great. Dude, aliens landed and they just went straight for Fyre Fest and they just lasered everyone to death. Who's upset about it? Nobody. We took it actually as a sign of peace. I've never met anyone that's seen an alien, like that actually has a real gripping story. Like I witnessed this, like, and still to this day, no one has a picture or video. You notice that as the years have gone on, these like detailed accounts where people like were face to face with aliens have gone way down. There's no more face to face. And what? Since phones with cameras on them have become ubiquitous, all of a sudden we're not leaving the house anymore to go find aliens? Yeah, we're not going outdoors. They're still there, but we're just playing games on our phones, so we're not hiking through the woods in the middle of the night, bumping into UFOs. That's pretty convenient. I think a lot of them are just They're part of secret government programs testing planes that we're going to find out about 40 years from now. Just in the same way the B-2 bomber and stuff, they were being tested like 50 years ago. And that must have looked like tech from the future then. Who knows what they're doing now? It's probably a combination of that and people that were fucked up seeing things that weren't there. Then just reflect stuff that you want to see. When you see a reflection or a weather balloon or something, like you want to see something more, I think. It becomes just more fun to tell yourself a story, I think. But if there has to be some kind of intelligent. I just don't know that they've made it here or they care. Or they know. What if they don't know we're here yet? That's probably more likely. Or they've seen us and they're just like, yeah, that'd be like visiting an ant farm. Wow, do you guys really want to go all the way to Earth? Like it sucks over there. Let's just wait until they are gone. It was better with the dinosaurs. Maybe that's the last time they visited. And they're like, that was actually fun, dude. It was like all these cool, crazy animals, and now they're just like people. Ugh. Yeah, they could just be bored with us with the notion of even visiting us. We could be like the Knott's Berry Farm of planets, where they're like, ugh, yeah, that place is cool for a while, but then there's like a way cooler planet that has like cool entities on it, and that's like the Disneyland. They go visit that way more often. They have like a rapport with the people. And wouldn't it suck to find that out? Wouldn't it suck to find out that there are aliens and they visited us, but we were too boring for them? And they're like, no, we can get around the universe for sure, but we're visiting this other planet in another galaxy. That's so much fun. These people have figured it out, man. There's no war. They don't fight. Like we have a great we trade technology and philosophies, and we just have like an open door policy, man. We bring them to us too. Sometimes we let them borrow our ships, dude, because they figured it out. You know, you guys are just primitive animal idiots. So we don't visit you. We laugh at you. Sometimes we fly over you and we take dumps and we piss out of our UFOs onto your planet and we laugh. That's what's actually happening. That's my official theory. UFOs think we're boring. They fly over us and shit on our planet from their UFOs. Done. Put it in a science book. I could talk about UFOs all day and all night. It's fun because it can go in any direction. Well, look, I wanted to actually talk about a couple other things, but I'm breaking my rule by going over 30 minutes. So we'll do it next week. It's going to be relationship ideas that I had to maybe do as bits, but I think I want to just talk about them on the podcast. So next week, a more personal side.
It's the end of the show.
Okay.
Like,
see ya.
Comment. Don't be a dick.